Hello, MGTOW brothers, Swine Dog, coming at you with another video. Today I want to talk about addiction. And addiction can apply to so many different things, whether it's substances or behaviors that we fall into. So how do we separate just a habit or a pastime of ours? How do we recognize when it's becoming an addiction? Some things can be positive, healthy activities when they're in their proper place and in their proper perspective. But when it starts to become harmful to us in some way, I think that's when we have to begin to ask ourselves if we're addicted to this activity. If it's taking so much of your time, putting you at some kind of financial or health risk, and yet you're not able to control it to the point where you can put it back into perspective. So I think addiction has two red flags that we should look for. First of all, that this activity is harming us in some way. And secondly, there's a lack of our own ability to control it. So in a MGTOW context, that I think would apply to our relationship to females in a lot of different ways. Maybe the physical addiction to just chasing after sex with these women, that might be something that's more of a problem in younger years, and as we get older, those physical urges sort of, thank God, they lighten up a little bit. They're still there, but they're just not driving us quite as hard. But then there's another thing we get addicted to, and that is the social validation that comes with having a girlfriend with you, having a wife. That can also be an addiction, or the pursuit of it can be an addiction. So other kinds of addictions like alcoholism certainly fall into the same realm. You got to consider the harm that it's causing you, and whether you're in control of it or not. So when I stopped drinking a couple of years ago, I was helped by reading a book, a guy named Alan Carr. How does he spell it? There are different ways to spell Allen and Carr. So I believe his was Allencarr. But he got famous by helping people quit smoking. But the method that he used can also be used for other kinds of addictions. And one of the books that he released was directly aimed at alcohol. And one of the reason I'm bringing it up here in this MGTOW context is one of the pieces of his thought process was the idea that you can be involved in an illusion of pleasure. Okay, things that feel good can be not true pleasure, or you can associate true pleasure with that substance, with that activity, with that person, in a way that puts you in a trap, because then you associate pleasure with a particular thing, and you start to believe that you're not going to be able to have fun without that thing. I didn't think I'd be able to have fun anymore if I quit drinking. I thought I would always crave it, that it would always be something missing in my life. But when you realize that the pleasure is really just an illusion, you can begin to break away from that thought process. And I think the same goes with women, the same goes with the societal reward that we get from taking care of a woman or from having a woman with us. Those things are illusions of pleasure, illusions of status, illusions of security. And those are all part of the big lie that we know as the blue pill. Now, I hope hope I'm not jumping too much from thought to thought. I'm just using, that's thought to thought, THOUGHT. But I hope that this analogy is coming through, whether it's one of the more obvious type of substance addictions like alcohol. Those things can be compared to our addiction to relationships with females and our relationship with our social group. These things can all present illusions of pleasure, illusions of security, and we need to be able to recognize that before we can break away from an addiction. Now, red pill thinking in a MGTOW context is a way of breaking an addiction. And when you break away from it, it's such a wonderful blessing, and it's such a step into freedom and ultimately true peace of mind. And that's where the real pleasure is, gentlemen. That's where you can find your true calling, your true interests, and things that you want to go after in life. And that's where the real pleasure is. So I hope this was helpful. And thanks again to everybody out there who's been commenting on my videos and showing me some support. Let me know you're out there. So please like, subscribe, and keep in touch with your buddy Swine Dog. I'll be coming at you with more content soon. Thanks. Bye.